Good morning. Good morning. It's Marquise Martin Hayes, and it is time for Thriving Thursdays, where all I do is interview amazing people and help them shine so that you and I can glean from their wisdom, from their insights, from their inspiration, from their trials, from their tragedies, from their pain, from their gain. Why? So that you and I can stop being slowed down, being stopped, being frustrated, being disappointed, being disillusioned because of the moments we experience in our life. Ultimately, the show is about helping you thrive regardless of what's taking place. Today will be no exception. And as I like to do, I'm a Rodan and Fields consultant. One product I want to share with you today is our lip serum. It comes in little bitty, tiny little serums just like this. I love them. Why? Because I hate chapstick. Chapstick to me is something that when you apply it, it dries your lips out so that you have to apply more. And I don't like feeling addicted to anything. So pop a lip serum capsule. Comes out like that right there. Boom. A little bit on the fingertip. This little capsule will last for at least 2 more uses because it just doesn't require that much. And at no point do I have to worry about having to reapply it again right away. One of the things that I love about the product is simply this. It works. Let's get started. Today, I've got Shane Curitan. He is the founder of Rootrition. He is the founder of Set 3 Productions, and he is a content producer with the Waves Foundation. So without further ado, let's bring him in. I was impressed with him because I met him through the gram. He's connected to my son, Champ, and watching this young man do his thing in real time is super exciting. I titled this in part Black History in the Making. And what I mean by that is Black History Month is great. I mean, it should be all year. We all know that. But one of the things that we get to do a better job of now that we're in this digital environment is highlighting the elegance, the excellence, the excitement, the ingenuity of those making it happen right now. So without further ado, let's bring in Shane Curitan. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Marquise. How are you?
Man, I'm well. It's so funny. I'm looking at you, and when you say my name, I'm thinking, how does that work for him, right? He has to think about me and my son.
It is. I'm just hoping you guys aren't in the same room at the same time.
I know, right? Exactly. And that's going to happen in April. We were chatting this morning, so I'll be down that way. But listen, man, do me a favor, just to let people have a real sense of who you are. Talk a little bit about, just introduce yourself to the people, who you are, like what you're about, what makes you who you are, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. I'm originally from Indianapolis. I've lived in a couple different states through modeling. I'm honestly just somebody who, I feel my biggest goal is to just help people, make sure, like you said, get people past certain ideologies and certain hangups that, that I went through and that, set me back and honestly just to work and build with people because doing things by yourself, you could get there. I will never say people can't do things by themselves because I've had to do certain things by myself, but having a team there and it's just so much more beneficial. And Indianapolis, I know at least we have the some of you guys may have heard of this, the crabs in the bucket mentality, where nobody wants anybody to do better than them, so they'll try to not even that they aim to get you on your downfall, but more of the working independently so then I can succeed instead of collabing and everybody coming up together. So that's one of my biggest pushes, honestly. But I came up through modeling, really. I would say that was my first big step out of, college and things like that. I didn't finish college, ended up just modeling full time. And, that was never my biggest goal, but it was a great opportunity to really give me the knowledge for my production company, and which is what I want to do full time. And that's all part of the plan.
All right, that's cool. So let's just start there then. So in the world of indie and the crabs in the bucket mentality, I want to acknowledge you because I believe it was Maya Angelou that says, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And I appreciate and respect you for that, man to man, because that's what makes a difference. I was listening to a show yesterday, a Chicago-based show, and we were talking about some of the things we're facing as challenges. And so one of my friends, Sister Africa, said, that Black men have stepped in and made a difference. But the phrase that really captured my eye, and this is why I applaud you, she said that when real men stand up, little boys sit down.
Yeah, that is a great statement. And I feel now with social media and being able to actually see what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
It's like little boys now are trying to do what the men do.
Yeah.
But due to I don't want to say the morals, but the whole, mentality of them, it keeps them in their spot, because you can use the tools, or you can know the tools, but if you don't utilize the tools correctly, then where is it going to get you?
Fair
So
enough.
without that, if you're still, okay, cool, so they did it this way, so I'm going to do it that way, but I'm still going to do it alone, and I don't need the team aspect, things aren't going to mesh.
No.
So yeah, it's a lot of watching, and I'm going to do it this way because they did it, and they're working well with that. But like I said, without the foundation of trying to push other people around you and make them better, so then they can in turn make you better. You're just going to be sitting there running in circles.
So I agree 100%. At what point did that click for you, right? I know we talked about something that you're doing. You can bring that in if you like, that you were doing earlier today or recently here. But at what point did the necessity for team, community, village kick in for you to the point that you then transformed and began to operate differently in your life?
I would have to say, honestly, I'd have to say around college. There was I would say around college, because I had the mentality starting to actually, I was middle ground, I would say, but then I started falling out of that mindset in high school because of baseball and wanting to get to college.
Okay.
So team aspect, great. All right. But if your team is just and you see yourself wanting to do better, and there's not really a solid foundation under you to help you, push yourself to the next level, it's difficult to stay in that mindset of no, team.
Right.
If I wanted to get to college on a scholarship, I couldn't continue with baseball because the team was okay with being mediocre. So I switched back over to track, where I'm the only one that is, controlling my fate. But then college, for our track team, it really depended on the team. There was a lot of individual winners that came through ISU that were great athletes, you know what I'm saying? But that still didn't lead us to a section or a sectional championship or a conference championship or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So seeing the people they brought in, and then really starting to build with, a team, that really pushed me in that, you need people to grow off of. And, also my mom just she's been my number one teammate for ever. So, just having her there and having somebody so supportive is always keeps it in your head, like, all right, so what if I truly was alone in this whole game? So yeah, man, different things will kind of push you in different directions when it comes to how you feel about what you want to do and how you want to do it, how you want to try to accomplish it. But in the long run, like I said, man, realizing that and putting your ego aside and showing, okay, well, I can't do everything, or maybe somebody does this better than I do. So it's a give and take, and a lot of people may be okay with taking even, but with giving even, but sometimes taking, they feel in their heads, I don't want to take help from anybody. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah.
I've heard so many
Yeah.
people say,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard for me to ask people for help. That's an ego thing too. You know,
It
you
is.
got to check yourself. You know, it's not
Indeed.
being selfish. It's not being anything that's needy or
Right.
anything like that. You know, it's just, it's one, knowing your role, and two, knowing how much you can do.
Yeah.
You know,
That's been my sort of an anthem for me over the last few years, is really allowing a team to contribute to what I'm up to. I've always been a part of a team, but I realized I had that ego spot of like, no, I need to figure it out. And not to the degree that I didn't want them. I just thought to the degree that I need to have a certain amount done before I got to them. So I was having a conversation with one of my peers, little mini mogul, crazy entrepreneur guy. And, you know, we were talking. He said, Keith, he's like, bro, your network is sick. He's like, it's time for you to start dialing in favors. I'm like, yeah, I know I will. But, you know, right now, what I'm trying to do here in this arena is I want to get to that point. And then he's like, no, you don't understand. He's like, bro, we love you. We want to help you all the way through the process, not come to us when it's already ready. We want to contribute. And I was like, you know what? That's huge. Like, because that's when I discovered there was still a little bit of that ego in the way type of thing. And so when I made that shift,
I missed a couple things in there because I didn't want to, like, you know, I'm gonna say talk negatively of any of my agents. Love
sure,
them
yeah.
but before I went out to New York, I was gonna go back to LA. So I went out there, and then was gonna bring, just to test the market, and then was gonna bring all my stuff out there and basically move for good.
Yeah.
But because I had worked with Aeropostale like three campaigns, three or four campaigns with my New York agency, and had never met him, they were like, nah, we need you to come out here. We're not going to be able to keep you signed. So then I was like, you know what? I tried because it was about 7 months. It wasn't a full year out in LA. So like I said, I was just going to go back. I was like, you know what? I'll go back, save a little bit more money in Chicago, and then move out to LA. But after the New York thing, I was like, I'll try it out and see. And then I was going to leave after my first year because things weren't rolling like I thought they would be.
In New York. In New York, your first year. Okay.
Yeah. Because like I wouldn't have been able to live if it wasn't for my Chicago agent my first year in New York.
So what was happening internally, your internal state, that kept you moving, right? And the reason I'm asking is because
that was just because I was working.
Huh?
I said that was just because I was still working in Chicago. Like I was flying back and forth. You know, if it wasn't for Chicago during those times, I mean, mentally, I'd have been stressing.
Yeah.
You know, I saved up enough here to where I could go out there and not work for like 8-9 months. Okay. Just to make sure. I didn't want to be stressing.
Yep.
So that was a thing, but I wasn't going to sit there and waste money in a city like New York if I'm constantly just flying and working in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? If nothing's
that's accurate.
So yeah. So that, but
no, that's good because there was sacrifice, and you stayed on the wheel of what you were up to, not the wheel like the not that wheel. The wheel of what you were up to. And I'm only asking because a lot of people get the sense of like, well, I mean, is that gonna happen? I'm here, and we get caught up in what's happening right in front of us, and as a result, sometimes we get delusion. We get lost in the process of thinking that that's it versus no, I'm creating toward what I'm up to. And so, yeah, I was just curious because that's huge. Like everybody doesn't have that sort of understanding, grit, or determination, and that's not knocking what they're up to. It's just when situations happen, it sometimes just they collapse, and I'm like, no more collapsing. Like Shane's he made it happen. He just stayed with it, whatever that looks like for them. So,
and that's funny you say that because I saw probably the realest thing on my cousin posted it as like a meme, but it said God will give you God will hear you wanting cake and then he'll give you the ingredients and the utensils and the kitchen and all of that, and then you'll get frustrated because you don't know how to make it, and then you'll just quit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people are very immediate, right in front of me. I need things, like I said, if I didn't get signed, they didn't hit me back in 2 weeks. All right, well, one, we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
People can't travel like that, so it's like,
yeah,
there's a lot of factors that are going into it that people don't even think about.
Right.
And the amount of companies that are having to deal with bankruptcy and the lack of income. I don't know if I don't think this is any like secret or anything, but Target is somebody who I shoot for and I shot for consistently. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm still in there. They stopped shooting campaigns. Yeah. So that was a big hit. Not a big hit. That was a big, like, oh wow, like, this is how people are doing it now, trying to find budget cuts and things like that in the smartest way. So, for an agency to be signing people right now isn't the biggest, like, I don't think it wouldn't be the biggest surprise if they just stopped signing models. I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
As for right now. So
because the work has changed.
Exactly.
And being able to roll with that makes the awareness, like, it's not about you that it hasn't happened, right? Like, in our game, and granted, you've had a lot of success, which I applaud, but in our game, if you're not chosen, it's not necessarily because you suck. It's how did you fit with what they were trying to connect with in the audience they were trying to reach? There's so many factors, but I know my brother taught me early on, if I make it about me, then my whole game drops. My everything about me, my whole energy changes, and then I start showing up looking thirsty, which is a turnoff, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I think my favorite gig, and we can get off modeling here shortly, but I think my favorite gig was the one where it was hot in Chicago, but I had to be suited for an appointment. And no, it was hot in Chicago. So I was in like sandal shorts and a polo shirt. And, when you show up to a talent or a casting agency, you want to look decent. So I got to the spot, couldn't find parking. Once I found parking, no time to change clothes. So I rolled in that joker with sandal shorts and a polo. Booked it. Biggest gig of that year.
Yeah.
Like, boom. I was like, wait, what? But it was that nonchalant, relaxed patience.
Yep. They want to see that personality in you. They don't want to see you trying to be this person over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So anyways, so from there, how did you move to set 3 and what's that about? Like, and how were you discovering, or did you know prior to set 3 that production was a part of what you wanted to do?
From a young age, man, I really was into, shooting videos and directing and things like that. And I always would feel like during shoots, I was like given direction. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of times where I'd be like, well, hey, how about we do this? How about we try this? You want to try this?
Yeah.
I'm not here to I don't take credit or nothing like that.
No, I get what you mean.
I talk to whoever I feel like I need to talk to and go, hey, what about something like this? Up this alley, whether it's the photographer, the producer, whoever. But yeah, really just that's where I find ease in work. You know what I'm saying? In love and like seeing the outcome of it and knowing that one, I'm the one who directed it, or I'm the one who, got the right layout of the shot. And then, like I said, just the outcome of it. And then people, oh man, that's dope. That's cool.
Yeah.
So as time progressed, man, it just seeing content being produced the way that it is when it comes to your mainstream TV shows and the imbalance of, what word am I looking for? Because I don't want to say like good, like
no, it's what's your
not good
TV,
creator, like non-edgy TV. Okay. So it's just slow. Like there was kid shows back when you had like the Angry Beavers. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Even that show, it was on Nick, but the things that they did were very like if you were just very touchy, very like, oh whoa, okay, controversial. I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay.
So really having that controversial TV instead of taking everything out of it, so then it's just kind of a blank watch. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
There's no like, oh no, there's no factor of wow, should they be able to do that? Can they do that? You know what I'm saying?
What drives that for you?
Control. Them trying to control exactly what it's kind of like from TV to football, it's just continuously, well, no, we're going to do it this way now. Well, no, we're going to make it a little bit safer. Well, now we're going to make it a little bit safer. Well, now we're going to make, it's a little more safer for TV, a little more, and I just feel like you start to lose creativity because you just start to slowly make that box, smaller and smaller and what you can do. And, people are afraid to try to put out content like that due to their goal and wanting to be picked up by a Netflix or a Hulu or before even the streaming platforms, a TV program, or a TV network. So that's what so set 3, there's a lot that goes into it, from the producing of clothing. So basically,
talk about it.
This is the set 3 logo. I did a little design on this. Just I put another layer or whatever, but it's the logo embroidered, the megaphone. But with and this part was somewhat newer than the base reason for set 3. The reason I started set 3, but the production of clothing and then producing the shoot and then putting it online.
Wait. So you have a production company that produces clothing, which is cool. One of my guys, he does that now. You also producing the shoe?
We're originally producing the shoe, but then in my head it was, well, why don't we just try to produce the clothes too? And then once we get the clothing produced, we can shoot it and then put it on your website for you. Basically being a one-stop shop for everything. You come with a budget. You say that, and we do graphic design and all that too. And the ideas and branding and thing like that's where that's probably my number one is branding and coming up with logos and things like that that aren't too specific. I feel like a lot of people nowadays are doing, pinpoint accuracy logos. That when you start to do that, you start to really narrow down what your audience and really what you can do. If I were to say, set 3 photos, all right, well, then I don't expect you to do anything else outside of photos. You know what I'm saying? So
that's accurate.
Yeah, a lot of people, and this is not to be jumping around, but with the CMOS game.
We got to go there, right? Because that's a whole other brand of yours.
And
that's really hot right now. So we will have time for that, but go ahead.
For sure. But, instead of going the route of Moss Boss, or because those are all names that we were really thinking about going with, I was like, yo, let's take a step back and let's figure out big picture. Where do you want to be at? You know what I'm saying? Do you just want to be selling CMOS, or do you want to be a whole company that, has, that I'm selling other people's stuff? For nutrition, we want to be the holistic GNC.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
yes.
It's not just selling moss, but our competition is like, Caribbean moss, St. Lucia's moss, you know what I'm saying? Like all these brands that are just specifically targeted to sea moss. I could end up stop selling my sea moss and then have somebody else sell on my website, So that's not the plan, but that's just the potential of it if wanted to go that direction. But even just getting back to the whole branding stuff, doing nutrition. Set 3, and then I have a partner company that does a lot of vinyl stuff. It's called Any and Everything. But
what do you mean vinyl stuff?
So like anything customization.
Okay.
So she can do clothing to like lighters to like a whole kid's birthday party. you know, just the customization of things. And that's,
okay.
you know, what in the long run, now you can get your kid's birthday party all designed how they want it. And then if you want to incorporate the videos and the photos in there, you know, you can get you a package.
Nice.
See? So
what drove you to Set3 and Root Nutrition? Like what?
So Set3 really, that the concept of that really started with creating content and giving people the ability to buy hours from us to produce content. So
like, more like a production house.
Yes. So with modeling and everything, when we started going to castings, and it was like, how many followers you got? You know what I'm saying? At that point, I was like, man, these people are going to need content. Like, you're going to want to be able to push and get followers. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, content has changed from just being able to shoot a photo every day and post it to now it's like, we want to see your personality. We want to see the videos that you got. We want to see what you're doing. So, you know, the base concept for Set3 was, you know, you could buy 10 hours a month, and every Sunday we plan out the schedule for that week and when you want to shoot your hours. Okay. Nice. So that at that point you can have consistent access to somebody and consistent content rolling out, you know. So that was the original plan for that. And then Set3 TV came along where
one sec though, about the being able to buy hours, right? So I'm thinking about the audience and people who are creators who may not have what they need to get where they're going. Are you saying, like, what comes to mind for me is Marcos Jet, right? So Marcos Jet was, they just rented space on jets that were sitting around that people could buy hours so that they didn't have to buy the whole jet, right? Is that sort of how Set3 is ran? Like, if you don't have your own production studio, but you're looking for a package to tap into, resources, cameras, lights, etc., and a team, is that how
we would be more of, you're renting to just create the content. So like, you wouldn't be able to rent the stuff yet, or like our equipment or anything like that. Okay. You would just say, all right, cool. So let's say you're a fashion person. All right, cool. So I want a video and a photo or I want a couple video or a couple photos and a video for every outfit. I'm going to do 2 outfits a week. I mean, you're probably, or we'd be able to bust out, you know, 2 outfits in an hour. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, now you gauge, all right, so I need about 8 hours a month to be able to do that. Well, then we would figure out packages, and we had to, that's going to be one thing that is mainly pushed towards companies. Okay. So if a company is going to need 10, 20 hours or whatever, they're going to more than likely be, or have the ability to pay for that, you know, all up front, and unless somebody is, you know, has a brand or anything like that, and they can, you know, like I said, have that consistent, you know, access, because, you know, it's expensive, you know.
I would agree, but they get your whole team for the time that they've purchased.
Yes,
that's cool.
So, yeah, we figure out exactly what you're trying to do, and, you know, make sure it makes sense for you. So but that was the basis of it. Haven't gotten anybody on that yet. Just because, yeah, well, it's there, you know what I'm saying? And that's going to be something that will be implemented once content becomes such a mandatory thing.
Yeah.
You know, for these companies.
With COVID, it slowed things down a little bit. And yeah, got it. Yeah.
So, you know, that's just one piece.
Yeah. So Root Nutrition. Now, the sea moss craze. Everyone's like, I want sea moss, Marquise. You have sea moss in your juice, and blah blah blah. And I'm more of a baseline type of guy. Like, get your fundamentals right, then sea moss will work. Like, stop thinking there's just like sea moss is going to change me. But neither here nor there. Talk about Root Nutrition, break it down. I know people are interested, and just like all the aspects and the vision of where you're going. Like, how is that because you ran track? I mean, like, how did that even come around?
Okay, so sea moss got brought up to me probably like 5 years ago, but I only saw it in the seaweed. Okay, or that
Yeah.
it's an algae, but I
Yeah.
only saw it in the actual weed form.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm not trying to cook it. Like,
Like
I don't
most
know
people
what
don't eat
that
kale.
is. Yeah, but I heard that, it can do crazy things from you through Dr. Sebi.
Yeah.
Or CB,
Yeah.
however you want, the exact way of saying it has been contradicted. But it was something that I had just continuously seen, and as if you take this along with changing your diet, then you can cure stuff. You can start to really help, benefit. It wasn't until about 2 years ago my cousin put me on, because he was making it, and he would just make his, hey, cuz you need to try to, like, he was making it in the gel form, and he really just kind of blew me away. You know what I'm saying? With the feeling, because you'll feel it immediately. Like I say, you'll feel it that day, in your digestive tract mainly. So that's why you say, if you don't have to change up your diet completely, but if you are having serious ailments that you're trying to fix with sea moss, you have to fix up more than just adding sea moss to your diet.
Look, man, 70% of the country is overweight and obese. You need to change your diet.
Right? Oh yeah, the whole country. And we're worried about COVID killing people. Like,
it's because we are already in a sick state,
and
that's the part. I only bring that up because I really want people to get the balance. Like, I'm cool with thick. I don't mind thick. It doesn't bother me. It depends on how it comes. The point is, it doesn't mean it's healthy. And so
you could be slim and unhealthy. Like,
you can be
I don't gain weight.
Absolutely.
I don't gain weight like that. So if I eat like trash, I got a Bentley on the outside with a 64,
look, Chevrolet.
hoopty inside. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
and that's part of why I pushed that. But anyway, back to the sea moss, and as you were explaining, your cousin put you on 2 years ago.
Okay, so and he was selling it here and there, but he did meal preps as well. So he was mainly selling it with the meal preps. I was like, cuz, we need to start this. Like, if this is how you make it, and you know how to do this consistently. And I mean, because he was somewhat of a chef, like, he was cooking up a bunch of different things that and flavors of sea moss that just, you know what I'm saying? And no added sugar, no natural sugar, not of the fruit. You know what I'm saying? But was getting that flavor in there. So, I just told him, man, we need to start a business. So it was me, my brother, and my cousin. Well, my cousin was the chef. My brother was the tech, online, things like that. And then I was the business and advertisement, the branding and all of that. So I came up with nutrition. I do the videos. I do all the photos and everything like that. And obviously the branding part. But then my cousin passed away, and which, I had to end up kind of figuring out what we were going to do next. But then my brother ended up not being as interested in it as he thought he was. So that set me up for, all right, so what am I doing? Because I was going to go back out to LA after moving back from New York. But with COVID and everything that happened, I am beyond happy that I didn't, because I still know people out there and they say it is just a ghost town. Like, you can't really go do anything. But yeah, after all that happened, it was just, me having to hit it hard, and the research that I had done, and the results that I was seeing was just, I mean, jaw dropping. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get on and search for sea moss, the cheapest 16-ounce jar you'll probably find is like $32 to $35.
That's about right. Yeah.
And I sell it for $30. Why? Because I want people to know about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to be the richest man off sea moss. That's not what I'm here for. I want people to realize that there are things out here that maybe you don't know about. There's vegetables, seaweeds, fruits, all of that can cure us. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like there's something out there for every ailment.
Yeah.
and the holistic route is hands down the way to get there. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
You're really trying to fix yourself.
One of the
So
things you said. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
no. I was going to go back in with the prices, and the reason why I sell it, so cheap, is to make
Oh
sure
yeah,
that
that's
people
great.
have
I
the
get that.
ability to get it.
I'm
Yeah.
curious about like so one of the things you said was earlier you had the whole track thing, right? So for the individual, like I gotta get this, and then it's like crap, I'm on a team that's not really figuring it out. And then you went the modeling route, and it took a minute to get the contract. And now you're talking about how CMOS happened, and then tragedy happened in the family, and then your brother's like, yeah. But I see that you found yourself again in a spot where it's like things like Chicago to New York, things don't look the way that they're supposed to look. But with what I have right now, what am I getting ready to do? You didn't fold. And I love that you didn't fold. What was happening internally that said, and so now I'm going to do the research and now I'm going to continue, or what was that? What do you have any insight into that yet? Or maybe that's going to come in a few years when you look back.
Mainly, honestly, I was doing it for my cousin. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
This was a big dream of his to really get his company out there like that. And then, like I said, once I saw the benefits and things like that, that's when things kind of switched. And I don't want people to. I don't want people to not be able to get this because they can't afford it too much, or that's why we do the giveaway every month. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a true giveaway. It's not just we pick our friends and our family and things.
Yeah.
I want to give people the ability to get that. And if you like, there's so many more giveaways that we're gonna do this year. I plan on giving away like 3 to 6 months worth of CMOS for somebody who can show me the best transformation. You know what I'm saying? For whether it's internal, external, it's so, and that's mainly.
When does that start? So that, because I know
I gotta
people
set it up. I gotta set it up. I'm
all right.
I do the media and everything. So
yeah,
I'm dropping another video just to remind people that we're still doing the giveaway for February.
Okay.
So then, and I just set up our lighting. It's funny, I actually ran into a problem. I didn't, for the first videos I shot, I didn't write down the lighting for everything. So then when I went back to do it, it was a little bit different. So now I'm like, all right, cool. So now I just need to, I got all my measurements out. So now I'll be able to bang out videos like crazy. And it not really be an issue. So, being able to just get on top of that and be ahead of the game is where I'm wanting to get at. But yeah, man, it's, I just want people to be able to utilize it and really see the differences, and then at that point go and think what else is possibly messing me up, where I could switch it to this, or where I could, all right, cool, if I cut back on this and implement this into my diet, then I'll start to revert whatever issue that I'm starting to have. You know what I'm saying? So
what are the top things you've seen with your clients? And it's roottritionplus.com, right?
Nutrition Plus. Yeah.
All right. So what are some of the top things that your clients have experienced, or that keeps you motivated to share this with people?
Honestly, I'm the biggest one. Outside, I mean, I've had countless people, from back pain to acne to rashes to scars to thyroid issues.
So so scars and thyroid, those two things stand out to me. So when you talk about scarring, are you applying it topically in that instance?
Yes.
And then thyroid, and ladies and gentlemen, this is not go see your doctor. We're just talking about experience and some of the things his people have experienced. This is not a cure-all. See your doctor. All right, back to it.
Cool. I like that. But yeah, man, the thing is, I'm going to start from base. Okay. We are people, humans, made up of minerals. Okay. It's not like, oh yeah, well, our veins are made up of vitamin A. You know what I'm saying? Our teeth are made up of vitamin C. Like, no, that's not how it goes. So, but we're so pressed on getting our vitamins, that and not focusing on the minerals. That, well, we need minerals just as much, if not more. And that's where sea moss really jumpstarts your body, because it's like in the workout aspect, creatine. Your body produces creatine. Okay, a little amount of it. Now, when you give it extra creatine, now all of a sudden it's like boom, boom. You know what I'm saying?
You
You
go
see
more.
the difference. So when you do that with these minerals, your body all of a sudden goes, oh my God, like we've been needing these for so long. And then we wrap up the whole, well, get your vitamin. The word vitamin has become a Kleenex and a Band-Aid word. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like Band-Aid isn't a Band-Aid. Like that's the brand. Kleenex, you got puffs. You know, it's a tissue. You know what I'm saying? So mentally, we've kind of been screwed up with that, and not being able to. I want to say not even able to, not doing the research and thinking that, okay, well, no, they're giving me all the knowledge I need. So I just need to make sure I take this little vitamin and get my fruits and vegetables.
It don't work like that.
Nah. So, you know, with the amount of minerals that's in sea moss, I mean, when you put it on your skin, when you take it, it's just, like I said, it jump starts. And when I said me being the biggest kind of, I need people to see this, I got eczema I had eczema on my hands like crazy ever since I could remember. Okay. Every year my hand would get these bubbles on my fingers, and then a little bit, you could see it under my skin. And then my whole hand would peel. And I got pictures, like my whole hands would crack. And this is twice a year, every year. Okay. Started taking it. And then we're coming out with, we have a lotion line that I don't say cosmetic, but more of the lotions and products like that, called Refine, that we're coming out with.
Tell us about the whole line.
Oh yeah, man.
I know people are intrigued right now, and we got to serve it to them. So tell us about the whole line.
Our first product that we're coming out on the Refine line, and it's still by Nutrition.
Okay.
Is going to be very light, a shea butter, sea moss, hyaluronic acid, and retinol mix.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are big, and those are huge in the cosmetic.
Yes, they are.
Right now.
Yes, they are.
And that mixed with the sea moss, because sea moss has a drying effect to it. So just having that, putting that on your skin can sometimes leave people's face dry. But it does help acne wise. Like, I mean, it'll kill it. But yeah, having the shea butter in there, but still only, 5 ingredients if you want to count water. You know what I'm saying? Man. So, I'm using it now just to all the products on our website I test out first. Like, I don't just put something up just to try to sell it. So, all of this stuff, we have another brand on there that we sell right now, that with the shampoos and the soaps and the lotions and things.
Wait. Don't skip over that. Tell us about, we got like another 9 minutes. Tell us about what's on the site, because I got it scrolling on the bottom. So those who are interested, roottrition.com. Don't think roottrition. It's not like that. It's one T in the middle. What's on the product line?
So we work with one other company that is there's 2 other companies on there, but one sells just like a immunity pill. It's called Immunity. So, and that's for the people who don't like the sea moss. They'll get the same amount, the same style of things in this pill, maybe not as abundant, but so Gardener's Garden is, I mean, the products on there are amazing. The chapstick, you literally just, I mean, something that I finally found out with the whole chapstick, what you were saying, makes you like you got to reapply.
It's like
I actually stopped. Yeah, I stopped using chapstick altogether just to see, because people, or I heard in the past that your lips produce something that keeps them, some like from drying out basically, and cracking and things like that.
When you're hydrated.
Yeah.
Right.
But when
you're hydrated, like the body does what it's supposed to do.
exactly. You know, you shouldn't need all this excess.
Exactly.
But if
Speaking
you
of which,
do have the more natural ingredients in the chapstick, you know, your lips won't go through that. You know, oh, they're moist for 15 minutes and now it's
right,
dry again, and you know,
right,
so their chapsticks are amazing. The soaps, the lotions, like it's just all raw. It's really nice. You can look at the
nice.
ingredients and not go, huh, I ain't never heard of that before. You know,
Yeah,
that's a little weird, or you know, or
yeah.
that's too long. You know, so
And what about
um,
yours? You have sea moss. So sea moss are in these products you're describing as well.
no. That's a whole. So because we're aiming
The
to be the
GNC.
holistic GNC, we
Yes.
have other brands that we sell on the website.
Yes.
For nutrition, which is so we're nutrition. Our
Yep.
website and our store is nutrition plus. So
Got it.
all the excess is the plus.
Got it.
Um,
Got it.
yeah. So for us right now, we just do the cinnamon honey sea moss, which
Okay.
is, I mean, people can't get enough of it. And our original, which is no flavoring, no anything. There's 2 ingredients in it.
Okay.
Chondrus crispus and water.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the reason I'm saying that is because I know people are going to start saying, well, Marquise, where do we get his stuff? Like, we want to pick it up. I've been looking for somebody and I want to support him. Oh, by the way, this gentleman's not even 30 yet. Okay. I told you this is Black History right now. Handling this business, has this company that happen. One of the questions I had is around staying in that whole world is, I know you don't sell it online yet, but I believe an investor is going to pick you up and help you figure that out. Tell us about the product they can pick up if they lived in Indianapolis. Your drinks.
We sell it online.
Oh, your drinks are online now.
Oh, the drinks.
Your sea moss drinks, stuff that Champ would buy.
Oh, that's just the sea moss.
Got it.
Yeah. Now it's somewhat liquidy. It's more liquidy than solid.
Okay.
So
I thought I saw something in a bottle with your label on it, but you weren't shipping.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. My bad.
Yeah. Now we don't have. Now we do want to get into that, but when it comes to all of that, you know, we're aiming to give somebody a product with the least amount of sugar in it. You know, and a lot of people end up trying to pack their sea moss with different flavors to get the flavor, you know, and you could possibly be doing more harm than good.
Because sugar is a legal poison that breaks down and kills.
Yeah.
It's a poison, not a food.
Yeah. And that's, you know, and until people really start to understand these things, you know, they're going to be struggling.
So tell me this, and I'm asking this question because I know that there are people watching who will invest. What's the future look like for nutrition in turn? I know you're the holistic GNC. I got that. Where in terms of things, which I think is brilliant, by the way, absolutely brilliant, because we don't have that in GNC.
It's questionable. A lot of their stuff isn't regulated, and it's just
I'll let it be. But to have a place where we can go get what we need access to and it be reliable and resourceful and supporting the community, what are some of the future product offerings you'd like to see or that you have in mind? That you
so you know we're really gonna, like I said, push the sea moss as best we can and as far as we can.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Tight.
With our cosmetic products and things like that, and I want to do more research on the different seaweeds and the natural products and things because, you know, this seaweed might do something or does something different than this algae. Correct. You know what I'm saying? And then finding all any extra things that possibly aren't the easiest to store and ship. You know, with the sea moss, it's borderline because, you know, we ship ours with, you know, the thermal wrap, an ice pack in there, and it's still and frozen, and it still melts by the time it gets there, which is perfectly fine. I don't even think people ship with the ice pack like that, like other companies.
Got it.
But just being able to figure out, you know, you have like soursop, you know,
Yeah.
getting different things in and seeing what they do and seeing, you know, because yes, it could have sugar in it. Yes, it could have different things in it. But if the mineral base or the vitamins that are in it can help in certain situations, especially you know externally, is a big thing that I want to try to you know jump on, just because I know how society is. Society is very face value. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, indeed. First impressions, we take them and run with them as
exactly. So you know, I'm okay with kind of chasing that a little bit, as long as I can try to push the real info in on the back end.
Good.
But you know, going using the refine, and then or I guess developing refine, and then doing, I don't quite know a name yet, but I want to jump into products that like cleaning products, household products that are all natural cleaning and things like that. And then like our brand, it will eventually, how we have nutrition is green and then the Rishin is black.
Yeah.
So the green R is what we have now. Once I put out refine, the R will be cut in half. The one side of the R will be green, the other side will be tan. And then once we get the cleaning products, it'll be cut into thirds. One will be green, one will be tan, one will be blue. So then that'll be our whole line of, you know, I say edible or, you know, you know, health stuff, and then, you know, cosmetic stuff, and then household.
It's good. So we got like a minute. 30 seconds or less. What do you want to leave the community with?
All right, my hashtag.
I was going to ask you about that.
All right, DLNTYS. All right, don't let nobody tell you all right, like, and when I mean that, like, don't let nobody tell you your dreams aren't possible, don't let nobody tell you a lifestyle that you're supposed to be living. All right, because that one of the biggest things I want to put out there. I made a lot of money modeling and wasn't the smartest with it because of the lifestyle that I was trying to live. In a sense, I wasn't out here flaunting in front of everybody. I don't have a bunch of stuff that's got Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all of that on it. I do have some very nice brands, but it's not gaudy. It's style that I like. Yeah. But I felt the need to wear that stuff out in New York because that's what I was surrounded by. Correct. You know what I'm saying? Instead of investing in the companies that I wanted to pursue. So that's one of my biggest things, man, is don't let nobody tell you nothing about anything, you know, to make the wise choice and think about your future, you know, not just right now.
Well, thank you, sir.
Alrighty. Hey, thanks for having me.
Hang out in the room. I'll be right back with you.
All right.
So in the closing seconds, don't let nobody tell you shh. That's all I got to say. You've heard it from one of the finest upcoming men on the planet, Shane Curtin. Striving Thursday, a Marquise Martin Hayes.